Good morning, leaders. We are back in the classroom here at Manhood University in our leadership series. I want to roll our sleeves up and jump right into today's lesson as we look at how we're leading in our environments, more specifically, how we're dealing with those employees or staff members or teammates who are not necessarily performing to the highest standards. To do that, I need to draw our attention to a parable. And I fully understand that not every class member is a part of the faith. However, we did say in our first podcast that you will hear a lot of advice. A lot of it will be faith-based, and I want you to consider the weight of the advice and its usefulness in your life and your circumstances before you concern yourself with the source. And in that vein, I want to share with you the parable of the lost sheep. Now that can be found in Matthew chapter 18 or in Luke chapter 15. And Jesus is talking to his disciples about a shepherd that has 100 sheep and makes a choice to leave 99 of them behind to find one that is lost. Now, in unpacking that parable, I want to talk to you today about that employee, that teammate, that staff member who is just outside of the realm of expectations that you have for everyone else, outside of the standard, outside of the social circles, not fitting in some area of performance or just being cohesive with the team, and ask you what you do in that situation. Now, when we look at this, we see a shepherd who clearly was able to leave 99 sheep, not the smartest animals in the world, but 99 sheep alone to go focus on what was happening with one. And what that tells me about that shepherd, he had set some sort of system up where eventually the stronger sheep could operate with some sort of autonomy. That means he had developed a routine, a process, had strategic vision or whatever that made it to where when he's moving this massive group of sheep around, if a problem does arise, he can leave them unattended. And that to me is the mark of a good leader. Now, another thing we have to look at, though, is that sheep that went astray. I want to ask you how much time you spend dealing with the employees who are not meeting standards, who are not producing like you like them to, who don't seem to have grasped the company culture. Do you only hang around the yes men, the people who are going to tell you what you want or give you what you want or perform at 100% that day? Have you developed a dialogue with all your employees to where your top performers, your mediocre performers, and your substandard performers at least all feel that they can speak to you on a human level? Do you know why your bottom performers are bottom performers? If you have an employee who's always late, have you investigated? Do you know if there's a childcare issue? You have a team member who's angry all the time. Is there something going on at home? If you had a top performer who suddenly is not performing like you'd like them to, you ever try to find out if something happened that made them perform less? A good leader typically knows what's going on. You got to have your ear to the ground. You should know what's happening in the lives of all your employees. You should have at least a little bit of the rumor mill coming across your desk, so at least you can be informed and not have to have somebody else explain every single employee to you or every single teammate to you or staff member. So if you've investigated those things, you'd understand. But when we don't investigate those things, here's what happens. Now, don't tune out, because I want to talk to those who feel like they're underappreciated in their jobs. Listen, one day you want to be a leader, right? You want to be in charge. And right now you're upset because you had a really good idea that no one took seriously, or maybe they ran with and didn't give you credit, or you just never feel appreciated. You're the worker that's never late, that does all the things right. But for some reason, the other workers or the other staff members or other teammates, they always tend to get the same type of treatment that you get when you feel like you're going the extra mile. Whatever the case may be, something offended you at some point in time, and you decided that was the thing you were going to focus on. First thing I have to tell you, your leader probably doesn't know. But anyways, there you sit getting angrier and angrier. And instead of taking your problem to your leader, you've decided to let it fester. Maybe you've assumed that they should know. I'm telling you again, they don't know. But you need to be careful who you complain to, because at some point your complaints are going to be heard by people who mean your organization harm. That's just how it works sometimes. Maybe you're frustrated and you're sitting somewhere in a group of people and you decide to just let it go. And now somebody who has their eyes set on taking something from your organization sees a window of opportunity. Don't believe me? Listen, a physically wounded animal, probably makes for a good meal. An emotionally wounded animal, well, they're probably going to tell you where the pack's secret hideout is, what the weaknesses are of that alpha male in the pack, and give you the keys to the kingdom without even realizing it, because they're hurt. And when you're hurt, all you want to see happen is somebody else be hurt. You don't think through the long-term consequences. Let me be really clear with you. That other company or candidate or organization that is offering you something that you weren't getting in your current situation, they've already learned that you're willing to turn on the organization you're a part of. So whatever promises you're being made, they're temporary at best. All you wanted was to be respected. All you wanted maybe was an apology or an acknowledgement. But as you find yourself complaining and letting it fester, now you're sharing information about the inner workings of your organization. And pretty soon you've given someone the keys to take down that organization, to take food off of people's tables, all because you were upset. You have to be a man and decide, hey, I had a problem. I got offended. I was upset. I'm going to talk to the person who created the problem, give them an opportunity to make right. And instead of focusing on all the little tiny details, realize I may not get everything I came for, but I can walk away feeling respected. Now, leaders, dial back in. Did you hear all of that being said to the potential disgruntled employees in your organization? Because you could have stopped a lot of that. Now, listen, some people are going to be offended no matter what. There's nothing we can do about them. However, if you are the one who's driving the offense train, who's causing the issues, you as a leader should be able to figure out how to address them before it gets to the point where someone is willing to go that extra mile, take their offense and their wounded heart and deliver all of the things about your organization that are secret, that keep it working, to someone else who intends to destroy it. Yes, you have that responsibility. If you create disgruntled employees, look no further than them as the catalyst for the things that come against your organization. So listen, whether you're in that leadership seat or that followership seat, what I want you to focus on today is not allowing offenses to go any further. Leaders, it's up to you to get to know every employee, every teammate, every staff member that you have, and find out exactly what makes them tick. And when they're not doing well, take a true interest in helping them get better. And for those of you who feel like you're underappreciated, underpaid, and overworked, you know what? Take a deep breath. You might even need to take a chill pill and say, hey, what's actually bothering me? Take it to the people in the organization. Accept the fact that you have room for growth, and then allow yourself to have a mature conversation that opens the door, right, for a better dialogue and for you to be the absolute best that you can be. Hey, leaders, I want to thank you for taking the time with me this morning. I hope you got something out of this. I will look forward to seeing you all back here next time. God bless you.